Greetings, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I think we can start now. If anybody joining, they can join in between. Okay, so let's start. Thanks again for joining me today for the session where we are going to discuss about building public websites using Power Pages. So this is a quick introduction about myself. So I've been working with the Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Now it's Dynamics 365. It's more than 15 years now. And I'm ninth time Microsoft MVP for business applications and 7 times C# Corner MVP. As you can see on the screen, I have authored 3 books for Dynamics CRM or Dynamics 365. These are my channels where you can connect me on the Twitter, on my blog, on my email. So if you have any question, you can always connect me, or if you have any query, you can always connect with. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the websites, and this is the agenda that we are going to discuss. So first we will discuss about, when you want to build a website, what all you need. Okay, what the planning you need to do, what are the things that you need to plan before the hand, what are the tools that you require, and then we will start discussing about the Power Pages, and we'll see how we can set up a quick trial for the Power Pages, and we can configure our website. And finally, we will see how we can render data to our website if we have any, want to build any data-driven website. And we will also discuss what are the licensing options that is available for the Power App Pages. And then we will see finally the demo. Okay. So we are going to discuss these topics, but feel free if you have any question, you can jump into and you can, just unmute yourself and ask the question. Otherwise, just keep yourself muted. So now, first thing that we need to discuss here is what all the things that you require when you want to build a website. Okay, so this is a first question. You can think, like, for example, if you are working on some project which you are going to solve some problem, right? Before solving the problem, you need to know that what is the problem. Okay, so the first question before building the website you need to get answer is that why you want to build a website. What is the reason you want to build a website, and what you want to achieve through that website. So this is the first critical question that you need to first get answer. Okay, and once in the this answer basically belongs to the different group of people, or depending on the different criteria. For example, what is your business, what type of business you are doing, you are from a product based company or you are from a service based company. So it depends on that, the answer totally depends on that. But very common answer is that you want to build a website when you want to showcase your experience and you want to reach your customer globally, right? You may be having some office in your city, and you may be working from that office, but you want to reach the global audience, then you want to build a website, right? So that's a very common first scenario that we go for a website. Okay, now the next thing that is basically very critical, that once you have that answer of your question why you want to build website, the next thing you need to plan that what is the structure you want to keep for your website. Okay, how many contents you want to display that, how many menu you want to display that, how many pages you want to keep it there. So all these things you need to decide beforehand. Just give me one moment. So the very most common structure that, in a very simple website that we can keep is the first one is the home, where, that represent the first page of your website, where you provide information about your services, about your product, you showcase about your experience, your, customers or partners. You may want to, provide any kind of the stories that, you are writing on the website or all those. So, and then we have the product or services. So if you have, product based company and you want to showcase your product, how many products you are building, okay, what is their pricing and all those things. Or if you are from the service based industry, for example, let's say you are providing training, okay, so you provide software training, so you may want to provide that different training options, that what are the different trainings you provide there. So all these things that is, you want to include into the product and the services page, right? And if you are a company where you always write about your projects, or write your case studies, or write your business scenarios, and you do blogging, so you may want to include the blog link of into your website. And the last one is the very critical, is the contact us. Okay, the contact us is the another very critical page that you need to have in your website, which helps your customer to get reach to you, or they can, if they have any requirement for the training or for any kind of the business scenario, so they can easily connect with you using the contact us. So this is normally kind of a form, okay, where you can provide your details, like depending on the user information, that basic details and the email, and you can write some description about your requirement and you can send this. So this is the very common structure that every website, you will see in every website. Okay, so now we know that why we want to build our website, and we have a basic structure that we want to keep our into our website. The next thing that we require is the tool. Okay, so depending on that, if you want to build a static website or data driven website, okay, so you need different tools or builders. So there, now here we have two categories. So one, I'm saying the builder, that you might have seen nowadays we have lots of free builders available, which you can use to build your website, and you don't need to write single line of code. All are basically the GUI steps. The wizards are there. You just need to follow those steps and your website will be ready very quickly. Okay. On the other hand, if you are a pro developer and you want to use any technology, for example, you want to use the, PHP, or you want to do that ASP.NET, or any of the technologies that is web technologies available, you can write the code and you can build your website. Okay, so because here we are going to discuss about the Power Pages, and the Power Pages is basically a no code low code solution. So today we are going to discuss about the all no code low code solution for building our website. So we are not going to jump into that pro development tools or the technologies. Okay, so now we have decided that we are going to use some kind of no code, low code tool, and using that we are going to design our website. So next thing we require to, we need to know that the contents of the website that we want to place. Okay, so now we have the tools, okay, that will allow us to design the pages, but what we want to put on the pages. Okay, so we need to know the content, and we need to know that layout structuring, like, okay, I want to keep this one page, and under that one page I want to keep 3 section, 4 section, under one section I want to keep 1 column, 2 column, or 3 columns. So all these things that comes into the design category. Okay, so here we decide what the content we want to put on that, and once we have the design available for our website, the final thing that we decide the domain name, right? We want to configure some domain. So for example, we have that different options that is available. So you can find out some unique name that is not used by any other business or other companies or other users. So you can just use that unique domain name and decide that and select and register that, and finally your website is ready for the test and preview. Okay, And once you have that thing ready, you can go ahead and publish your websites, right? So we discuss about the main thing here, that first we need to decide that what why we want to build our websites. Okay. So this is an example of a Microsoft website. Okay, so you can see here that they are showcasing about, this is basically the Dynamics 365 website example. So you can see that they are showcasing, what the Dynamics 365 about and what are the things that you can do. So they have provided, I have just captured, top screenshot only, but you can see that they are providing and showcasing their product capabilities, that what features are there and what you can do with the Dynamics 365. Right? So now that website builder, so this is just an example of a Wix. So this is a very common website builder nowadays. Citizen developer use, they can quickly want to build their website, so they use this kind of the builder. So this is the example of that. And this is how, like, for example, this is the example of the Power Pages. But here, just to give you an idea that when we want to decide how we want to, lay out our contents and how we want to design the page. So these are the things that is available where we can decide that designing contents of our websites. Okay. So now we know that everything, that why we want to build our website and what we want to put into our website and what are the tools that we are going to use. All these things are clear into our mind now, right? So let's jump into our main topic today, which is basically the Power Pages. Now, what is Power Pages? In a very simple way, if I want to explain what is Power Pages, so this is a basically website building tool. Okay. Where you can simply go ahead and design your complete website very quickly and very easy without writing single line of code. Okay, so as you know that the Microsoft strategy, and every company nowadays, they are promoting that no code, low code solutions, so that every user, whether they are pro developer or they are citizen developer, they can build the tools or the application easily. So the Power Pages is in the same category here. This is Microsoft low code, no code platform where you can build your website very easily and you can brand your website. There is a hosting options available. You can administrate your website. You can control you can do the user management. You can apply the security, everything that you can do within that designer itself. Okay. So no matter you have any IT experience or any language or you are writing code or not, nothing is you don't need to worry about that. You can simply go ahead and start your designing your website very quickly and easily, and this will be completely responsive, and this will be you can your user can access your website from the desktop, from the tablets, from the mobile client. So you don't need to do any kind of the responsive configuration that I need to write some code that okay, when this website will be rendered on the mobile, it should be visible like this. When I want this user will be watching my website or browsing my website on the desktop, it should be rendered like this. You don't need to worry about that. Everything will be taken care by the Power Pages. Okay. And if you are familiar with the Power Platform, so this is basically another service that is now part of the Power Platform. So if you are already aware of the Power Platform, you might have seen earlier that earlier we used to have that Power Virtual Agent, Power BI, Power Automate, Power Apps. So Power Apps, basically we build our rich applications. So we have different type of applications, the Canvas app and the model driven app. Power Automate is the workflow solution where we can write workflows to automate our business processes, and Power BI is the solution for the reporting. Okay, so we build report for our business and use those reports. And if you want to build any bot tools, that you can use the virtual agent for that. Okay, so this is the new addition here. Now you see the Power Pages that's added as a new service here. So software as a service as a part of the Power Platform low code, no code solution, which allow you to build a website. Okay, so that's the introduction about the Power Pages. Now, so we know that what is Power Pages. Now, next question comes into our mind is that how to set up the trial or how to get started with the Power Pages. Okay. So this is the URL that I have mentioned here. You can, visit this website here and you can click on the try, and as soon as you will click on that, you will get this screen. Okay. You can see here that you will get this screen. And one thing you need to keep in mind here that you need to provide your corporate email ID here to set up a trial for the Power Pages. You cannot set up trial for your social media account or the personal account. So you need to use your corporate account or from your organization. Okay, using that only you can set up a trial for the Power Pages. Okay, once you will enter your email here and you will select the Microsoft options here, the signing conditions, and then you will click on the start your free trial. It will redirect you, on the next screen where you can see that if you have already built any trial earlier, so you can set up multiple trial. So this is an example, like for example, here I have already one trial. So it's showing me that this is my trial already, and it will come under that, my sites category. But if you want to set up a new trial, you can click on the create new site, and then it will start building the process of, your new trial. So you can set up multiple trial while setting up the Power Pages, and you can demonstrate and you can do R&D on the different trials. Okay, so now, so let's say, for example, if I select this, okay, I want to create a new trial, and then you will see that we have a different template options available for you. Okay, so just like in the Power, any kind of the website builder, when you select that any build tool, sorry, can you please mute yourself? Nobody is there. Okay, so okay, so here on that Power Pages, we have the different you know templates available. So you can select any of the template and you will see different options there. Then I will show you when we will do the demo. So you can select any of the template and it will show you that you can also, have that option that you can click on that. Okay, if I will select the desktop, how it will be rendered. If I will select the mobile, how it will be rendered. Okay, and you have the preview option as well. You can click on that, which can quickly preview that template before using finally that template. That okay, I want to select this template to build my website. So you can preview it. Okay, and once you have selected that template, then next step, here is that you can start configuring your websites. Okay, so this is as a builder tool, so it provide you a very rich designer which allow you to build different layouts, and you can see that this is example of a designer here. So as soon as you will select your template, you will be rendered on this page, and you can see that we have different options that is available. You can select the different layout, you can build different sections, you can build different you can modify the text which is there, and you can put your own text. You can change the styling of the controls that is already placed here. You can change the background, and if you want to change image, you can also go ahead and change your images. So there are different options are available. Okay, You can easily incorporate the video as well. So this is very quick here. Just for example, let's say if you are a company and you already have some, videos that you published on the YouTube. So you can quickly include that videos here and put the link here, and it will start, running. So we have different options to configure the video here as well. Okay. So this is after once you have this, configured your website, and you, let's say, for example, you already have experience of building that website. It will, there is another thing here, but that won't make any difference. But Microsoft also, asking a question as soon as you will set up the trial, they will ask you that, do you have experience of the building website, or you are just a fresher and you don't have any experience. So they ask you this question when you select the trials. Okay. But let's say when you are here and you designed your website and you know everything, and let's say but you stuck on something. Okay, you don't know what I need to do next and how I can do that. Okay, so if you have any requirement and you are not getting any option here, or you stuck on some option that, okay, how to use this one. So Microsoft has provided a very rich documentation available, that is different learning path is available on the, in the designer itself. There is a link where you can see that we have different options which you can see here. Like it's starting from the basic introductions, like what is the Power Pages, what are the capabilities, what are the things you can do in the Power Pages, what are the things how you can manage those. So all this, like security, architecture, everything that is basically available here on that. So you can see we have different path options available here. You can select any of this, and based on that you can learn how to work with the Power Pages as well. So this is very rich documentation that is available here for us. Now, so as I said that in a high level, we have two type of category on the website when we want to build a website. So first thing is the static website. So if you are working with the static website, so you can just on this screen here, so you can once you design your website, and then you are good to go. Okay, so you can preview your website, you can test your how this styling is coming and the layout is properly rendering, and then you can publish your website for the public use. Okay, and it will be available globally. But if you are want to build a data driven website, okay, the data driven websites are basically where we render some kind of data that is coming from the some source, so some data source. Okay, so Power Pages allow us to use and render our data into our website, so we can easily build our data driven website using the Power Pages. Okay, so you can see here that whenever you will set up the Power Pages, it will set up that the data source, the Dataverse that is working behind the scene for the Power Platform. So it will set up a Dataverse there, and you can see here we have that out of the box tables that is available. So you can utilize these tables, or if you want, you can go ahead and you can create your new table as well. Okay. So for example, let's say just here I don't want to use any of that existing table. I want to create. So for example, this sessions here, the table that I have created a custom table. So you can easily create a custom table here. And again, you don't need to, you don't need to know about that. What is the behind the scene architecture and how these tables are designed? You can simply on the screen itself, you can select and design your table, and you can use that data on the Power Pages. Okay. And as you have the tables, then you can also design the screens or the forms. So for example, if you want to capture some data, okay, let's say, for example, you are building some registration website where a user need to register for the training or for the sessions. Okay, or maybe they want to some kind of data driven website where user need to put some data, and then you will also show them after submitting their data, you also show them that, okay, what is the status of their data. So for example, any case management website, Okay, so you want to show that all that customers have registered all the cases, and they want to see that what is the status of their cases. So all these things can be done using the Power Pages, and you can also design your forms and screens here very easily. Okay, and as you can see here, once you will on the screen, you have different options that you can on the fly, you can also create new fields. And if you have already that fields, there are a couple of the fields that is created by default when you set up the table for the Dataverse. You can utilize those tables here. And you can also use the very rich controls, which is we known as the PCF controls here. So there are some of the default PCF controls are there, but if you are a pro developer, you can build your own PCF control. If you have a specific requirement and you want to build that control, you can build it and you can place that control on the form, and then that will be rendered on your pages. Okay. And here, so whenever we talk about the data, okay, so whenever data come into the picture, then the another critical thing that should be there is the security. Okay, how you want to manage the data security? So is it publicly available to everyone, or you want to so hide the data based on the users? Okay, so for example, if your website, your static website, and there you don't need to implement any kind of user management. But if you are working with the data driven website, you might want to implement the user management there, where you want to allow them to log into your website using some kind of the credentials, whether it's a traditional username and password, or using any kind of the security key, right? So we have that security options available into the Power Pages, which allow you to implement the security on your table, on your data, on your screen. Okay, so you can configure different type of security. You can say that, okay, I want to show or hide the data based on this. I want to show or hide this complete page based on the user. Okay, or I want to hide the navigation on the website based on the user. So all the things can be controlled here in the Power Pages very easily. You can see here on the screen, so you can configure the security. So we have different type of users here. So in the user category, we call like two type of category here: the authenticated user, okay, the user which will enter some kind of the security credentials and then get into your website. That will we call them as a authenticated user. Okay, the another category is the anonymous user, where they are not entering any kind of the credentials, but they are just browsing your website. So whatever content that you have made available to everyone publicly, those they will be able to see all those contents into your website. Okay, so that's the category of the anonymous user that we have here. So you can see here that we can define the table permissions on the fly. You can select the tables, you can provide the name what you want to give, and you have that option to select the tables. And then you have the option that what type of access you want to implement. You want to implement access on the different labels, or you want to implement the global access. Okay, so global means you don't need to kind of restrict anything, so everyone will be able to see everything. Okay, and then you can configure here the what type of permissions you want to give them. So you have different permissions. So this is the common permission that is required when we are working with the data. So you have read, write, and create, append, and all those things are there. After that, you need to apply the roles here. So these are the different category by default here. These are the out of the box category that is available. The administrator, that who is basically going to control your complete website. So that admin user. So do you want to make some user, provide them access as a admin user? Anonymous user, as I said, that they are not going to enter any kind of credentials, and the authentication user, the authenticated user, they have to provide some kind of the credential to get into your website. Okay. So these are the different categories. So when you set up the table permission, you have to use some kind of the roles here, only then your permission will work. Okay. So this is how we can set up the security of the Power Pages, the data that we are going to render into the Power Pages. Now, so now we know that, how to set up the trial, how to configure it. And after testing that, you might want to see that, okay, what is the pricing? Okay, how much I need to pay if I want to go for this and I want to build my company website on this. So here we have two basically broad licensing options that is available. The first one is the subscription plan. Okay, so this basically, here you can see that we have, these are basically all the per users sites, and the monthly basis subscription are there. So for the 100 users, so you need to pay for the $200, okay, per month. So these are basically for the users, those are the authenticated users. So they are basically, entering credentials and getting into your website. So these pricing works for those kind of the users. So on the monthly basis, so they track it that, when you are logged in. So for example, let's say you logged in and then, you saw something, and then went on doing something else, and you left it like that. And after some time you came again and you saw that, okay, I want to see some status of some records. So all these things that you can see here. So all that, it won't basically consider it like when you are just refreshing and you have same session. So you will be considered as a same user there. So it won't be, counting you as a different user. Okay. So this is how it basically use that. And you can see here the data verse storage is also included here. So as I said that if you want to build the data driven website, you need to use some data, and that will be stored on the Dataverse, and that is included here. We have the another one is that we have basically the anonymous user. They are basically here just for the browsing the contents. Okay, that looking at, okay, what are the services and product you are providing, and all these details, like they want to get some information about you. So these are those type of users. So for those, you have the 500 user per month per site, you need to pay the $75. Okay. So this is what we have is the subscription plan. The another one that we have is the pay as you go plan. Okay. So this is basically managed by the Azure subscription. So, as you have requirements, so based on that, you can use these options. Obviously, this is, costlier than the subscription plan, where, subscription plan are normally you are just, going for the monthly or yearly usage, and you go on that, bulk, you can say that in the bulk way. But here, these are basically the for per user. So you can see if you are going on that, so you have the, for the authentication, you have the $4, whereas if you will, compare this one, so this will around cost you the 200, sorry, the $2 for the per user. But this will be costing you the $4 per user if you will go with the pay as you go plan. And similarly, for this is for the anonymous user, so it will be basically the 0.30, that you need to pay here. And if it will come, you will compare it with this, so it will be around 0.15 something that you need to pay for this one. Okay. So these are the two categories that is available here for us for the licensing options on the Power Pages. Okay. So before jumping into the demo on that, I just want to quickly check if you guys have any questions so far what we discussed, so we can discuss those. Okay, so I think everybody have that, they know. So let me open my here. So um, so let's get started with the Power Pages. So this is how that the website that I said that from there you can start your trial. So as soon as you will browse that website, you will be rendered on this page. So you can see here, this provides the basic introduction about the Power Pages and what are the things that is available on the Power Pages, what are the options that you have, how you can design your website using the Power Pages. So all these options that is there. So you can also develop using the Pro tool as well. So you can also use the Visual Studio Code on the fly from there if you want to write some code using the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and how you can manage your security on the tables and all the data that you can control here. All this information is available here. So now let's get started. So if I will click on this, try it for me, free. And let's say I'm going to use my email ID here. So that's my corporate email ID here. And if I will click on the start your free trial, so you saw that within some seconds you are rendered on some page here. That's the basically home page where it's showing me that okay, these are the trials that I have already built. And if you want to build, I want to build a new trial, I can select this one, or if I want to edit any of this, I can go ahead and look into these. Okay, so for example, if I want to preview here, let's say if I want to click on this, as you can see here, when you will click on the preview, you have these options. So you can click on the desktop, and from the mobile you can just scan this barcode and this website will be available onto your mobile. Okay, so let's take an example. So I just selected that I want to browse it from the desktop. So you can see here, this is just an example of that Power Pages website that I have built, just the trial one. And all these very quickly here. So let's go ahead here and let's click on the create a site. Now you will see here that it's providing you the different template options here. You can see that they have some basic designing template, just like you can just consider like whenever you want to build a website, you look for there are different templates available, right, for building the website. So these templates are like that only. So you can see here, so these are the options that if you want to preview this template, you can click on this, it will show you that how it will look like. Okay, so here will be the company name, here will be the navigation options that will be there. So you can see different options. So this will be the contact page and how it will be looking on the mobile. Okay, so let's cancel this. So these are the other templates that we have here. Okay, so let's select this one. So let's say I want to select this one. So I will click on the choose this template. And now you will be rendered on the next page where you will ask you that, okay, what is the name that you want to give for your website? Okay. So let's take an example that here I want to see this one. Let's build that. Want to build a website. Let me call my Okay. And here, let me call it. So you can see here that this is the name that basically it will store all the details of your website under that, and this is the address of your website. Okay, and by default you will see that this is the domain name that will be given to your website. But whenever you have built your website, you tested your website, you can go ahead and use your own domain ID. Okay, so you can use your own domain here and configure this website using your domain. Okay, so first it will check that if this website is available with this name or not. So if we have
Sir,
selected this, we can select. Yeah, hi
sir,
Channi. Yeah, hi
can't
Channi.
can't see your screen, sir. Only about us page here.
Let me stop it and reshare it. Okay. Okay, can you see it now?
Sir, I can't see.
Okay, so is it with everyone? Can anybody just confirm that you are able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, maybe Channi, there is some disturbance in your side, something.
Okay, I can check.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the page where you can provide the name of your website and the address that you want to give to your website. Okay. So as soon as you will say done, then you can see here it will within the few seconds it will be ready for you, and there you can go ahead and design your complete website. So see that if you I'm not sure if you have experience with the Power Portal that we used to have earlier. It used to take a lot of time to set up that portals. But now here you can see that within the few seconds, our website is getting ready for us. Okay, so our website is ready for us here. And now you can see that this is rendered on the designer. So this is the designer that is available here where we can design our website and we can select that how it will look like. Okay. So as you see that if I'm moving my mouse, you can see that we have these sections highlighting. Okay. So it's telling me that, okay, this is the section. So if I click on that, and if as soon as I click on that, you can see that it will provide me that pop-up which will allow me to modify this section. So if I want to edit the background, I can click on that. If I click on that, you can see here that it will show me, okay, do I want to do any changes on the color, or if I want to click on that edit mode, then it will open this on the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is on the complete page that we can see here. That is, and on the left hand side we have the navigation, that is this the home page is here, the pages are here. If I click on this, so if you can see here, we have two sub pages. Then we have the contact us, that is there. So you can see that the by default the form is already there. I have not built this form, but I'm getting this form out of the box. Okay. And here you can see that we have the different options. The styling options are there. If you click on that, you can see that we have different themes that is available, which I can select. Okay, if I want to go with this, I can select this, and you can see that on the fly, it will quickly show you that, apply that, and you can see the preview here on the right hand side. Okay, which option that you want to select. Okay, so we have you can different styling options are there, And on that, you can also go ahead and if you want to do any kind of other changes. So for example, if you want to do the other color changes or you want to do the font changes, all these things can be done from here. So if you want to do the changes on the primary button, so how it will look like, what should be the color of that, that I want to keep on the my primary button. So all these things that you want to keep, all this can be done from here. Okay. So anything on the link. So all these things, just like normally that we used to do in the CSS, but now we can do it quickly here and this through this designer. Okay, behind the scene, it's generating the CSS for us. So we don't need to go ahead and change the CSS. We can just keep on doing changes here and it will be doing that behind the scene on the CSS for us. Okay, so if you want, you can just click on the discard. I don't want to do these changes, so this will be that. So for example, let me go ahead and select this one. And now here on the right hand side, as I said.
Oh,
What happened, Chandni?
nothing, sir.
Okay.
I can see.
Okay, so now here, let's go back and let's do some kind of the changes into our website. So for example, let's say we want to change that here. Say I want to call it Diksha Trainer, and if I want to do any kind of font changes, so you can do this here. And let's say if I want to do these changes on that, or I don't want to, let's say if I want to use any other image, I can use that. If you have any logo, you can click on that and you can see that we have different options that is available. So if you have the images that you can upload it here. Okay. And let's say, for example, let's say I just don't want to use this one. So let's say simply I want to remove it. So I can click and say that I want to remove it. And let's take an example here. So let's say, so you can see here, as soon as I click on this, so it will provide me different options that I can use to modify the website. So if I want to, do the changes on the text, or you want to place some text, or you want to place some, section here, so you can do that here. So for example, let me go ahead. Let's see, let me do one thing quickly here. Let me put one image here. See here. Okay, so let me use this one here, and let me go ahead and let me modify something here. Here. Let me write this here. Okay, and let me say that I want to keep it that here, and let me just remove this section. I don't want to use this one. So let's say here, and this is the button. Okay. So let's say I want to do some changes on that. So you can click on this one and let's say I want to say that So let's say I want to say something like, if you want to enroll here, you can click on this, and maybe let's say, for example, I want to provide this one. Let me do one thing actually. Let's do one thing. Let me first preview this. So get that URL. So first time if I'm accessing, it will, need my permission here. Let me do one thing. So here, okay, so we have two sections here, but let me go ahead and take this URL and let's put this URL here. Okay, so here that's there. So now we have here. Let's say this is the image that I was seeing here. I want to remove this image. So simply I can say delete. Let's put some kind of detail here. Okay, so let me take some fancy text, some content from some website, some yoga website. Okay, so I just copied it from here. Something just quickly to get it done. So these are like images and the services that, if you want to give like what things like if you have different products, let's take an example of a different product. So you may provide, different product images here, or let's say if you are providing different training, so you can provide different training options here. So for example, we have that mhm. Let me go here. Let me see. I'm saying here. So let's say I just want to say like this. Okay, so here I designed on this page, and similarly, I want to add any of the component here. So if you click on that, so for example, I want to place a video, so I can click on the video, and you can see here that we have the options that we can provide and configure here. Okay, so what video you want to provide here, you can simply provide that URL here, and that will be run by that. You have different options that is, you can select from the YouTube, or you can select any of the URL here. So that will be easily, you can provide it here. So for example, let me do quickly here. So we have added that this URL here, that link for the video. And similarly here, oh, this is again here. I did that. So similarly, you can configure and modify the same contents just like that. And let's say, for example, if you want to do any kind of changes on the navigation here. So for example, if I want to, double click on that and modify this page, and let's say, and you want to, change the URL, that you can say like this. And similarly here, we have this, pages that if let's say I just want to remove this page, I just want to keep one page, so I can simply go ahead and delete it. So all these options that is available here that we can do. Okay, the contact us page is there by default for us. Now let's go ahead and let's do the preview of this. So let's do it here. One thing is still remaining. It takes time, like if there is a caching issue, so sometime it's especially on the images side, it take that type of delay here. I think still there is some image. Let me sync that. You can see that this YouTube video is came here, and we have not done anything, just we have configured it and this things. And quickly we can see here what's going it. Something it's guessing that, because I'm still seeing that image, but maybe there is something guessing it here. Okay, now you can see here that this edit code, if you will click on this, it will open that Visual Studio Code. And there you can see that all these things, that is the code that is for your website, that will be available there. You can see here now it's downloading that, and you can see this is the complete code that is available for my website. So you can click on that, CSS. If you want to use any CSS, or you want to use any custom JS, you can do it here. Or if you want to modify anything, from the HTML, you can do it from there. So if you are a pro developer, you can also write the code using the Visual Studio Code. So that's there. Okay. Now, so this is how, like, we can design that. Now the next thing is that about the data. Okay, so now let's say we have that page. Now let's take an example that here on the yoga session, for example, right now these things are there, but I want to display some kind of the session details here. Okay, so let's go ahead to our page. I'm going to remove these things from here. Okay, I'm going to remove this one. Okay. Now, let's say I want to display the some of the data of this, regarding the sessions here on my website. So you can see here on the left-hand side, if you will click on the data. So here you can see that we have different tables that is available, which we can use. Okay, all these tables are there out of the box. But if you want to create some new tables, you can go ahead and you can create a new table from here. So let's take an example that I'm going to create a new table quickly here. Now you can see that our table is ready here, and on the right hand side we have the designer that is available where we can do different things. For example, if you want to add a new row or you want to include a new column, so you can click on the new column, and let's say I want to see here details and want to keep it a single line of text. So this is basically the data type, which of the data type that you want to keep for your column. And let's say if you I want to give it here. And this one I want to keep as a text here, but the format I will be writing like a URL. Okay. And let's say if I want to we have this name one, I want to modify this and I want to call it topic, let's say. So now you can see that we have designed this table, we have added new columns. We had just one column that was there, but we have some additional other columns that is also created. But on the fly, we just added 3 new columns and now we are ready here. Okay, so I want to write this. I can quickly write this here that okay, here I can provide the URL, but you want to keep that all this URL here. So for example, I want to say like this, some URL here. Yeah, I can write simple like this. Yeah, into like this only. Okay, so this is just an example that here that this is the data that we have provided. Okay, so now our data is ready for us. We have created this data. Now, let's say we want to provide. So here we will see that under the view, we have the default views that is created by default for us. So if you will click on the active yoga sessions, so you can see here that this list is available, and we have these two columns, the topic and created on. We can click on the view column and we can select here what we want to show. We want to show that navigation link here. We want to remove this one, and let's say we want to add the details. Okay, so we are done, and we can click on the save to save our changes, and we can publish our view. Okay, so now go back here. Now, similar to this, the view, we have the forms as well. So if you want to modify that forms, the screen that is built for this screen, so you can click on that. You can see here we have that information form. And when you click on that, it will open the designer for us, where you can design it and put that, our fields on that. So here on the right hand side, if you want to do the changes on that, labels, tabs on the screen, so you can do it from here. If you want to add the columns here, you can. So you can just simply drag and drop from here. If you want to create new columns, you can also do it from here as well. Okay. So now let's say save it. Now go back here. So now if we go back to our pages, and here, let's say this is there, and I want to say this add section, or maybe I can do it from here only. If you will see here down, upper part, we have that, control that we want to place. But if you will see here now, the connect to the data. Okay, the data that you want to display it here. So I want to display that session details. So I can click on the list. And when you will click on the list, you will get this screen where it will, show you that options that, okay, which of the table that you want to connect with. So these are the tables that is there, but I want to click, on select on the our table that we have created. So this is the table that we have. And then here we need to select that view. So we can select that, okay, this is the view that I want to display it here. And just want to keep it as it is. So let's say, okay, now this is done. So now you see here, this is displaying some, warning here. Okay, but let's do it this, and let's test it first. If I go to here and if I refresh this page, now we have that, the page changes is available here. We have that our view is available here, but we have two records, but we are not able to see those records. Okay, now that require the permission that we need to set up here to render those set of record to our website. So if I click on the new permissions here, you will see that same kind of screen that will be open here. So let's say, for example, I'm going to say here, and I want to give it read to everyone. And let's say I want to give it to the anonymous user so that everybody should be able to see this. Okay, and I will say save. say sync. Now we should be able to see those set of records here. Yeah, so now we can see those set of records. So this is how we can control that security of the data, and we can decide that, we want to display this to that every user or not. But this image is still coming, so I'm not sure from where this image is coming. See it here. This is, this we have removed. This seems still coming from some place. Okay, anyway, so this is how we saw that, how quickly we can build that website. We can change the contents, we can put the media here, and we can changes, add that pages. We can also go ahead if you want, do some new changes on that or new pages on that. You can create new pages from there, and you can decide that navigation here. And here one thing, if you click on the contact us, you will see that, let me show you actually one another website here. So this is the another website that I have created, the trial one. So this is the example of the template that I used here. So this is the template that they have provided, where basically we take the approval, the permissions. Okay, so you can see that I have not done any changes on this website. So this is as it is by the template. Okay, so let's take an example. I want to submit my approval process. So if I want to click on this, let me see. So you can see here that I have submitted one approval that I want to buy something, but let me go ahead and so these are the approval, they have built one permits that we want to use. So for example, let's say if I'm taking this one, if I click on that, you see I'm getting this page. If I will click on the apply, I will get a form where you have the different steps. So for example, I'm just here. So you see here, this is that website. This is the website, Power Pages website created through the template, and nothing has changed. But you can go ahead and do the changes and do the tweaks on this changes. But you can see that they have built that so many options here. And if let's say, just think about if you want to build something, some website where you need this kind of features. Okay, how much you need to write the code, and how much effort you need to put if you want to build it from the scratch. Okay, so this is the beauty of the Power Pages. And here you can see there is a one more thing that I just want to see here. So this is another thing right now. This is basically on that. If you see here, it's showing that right now this is on the private, so it's not public. But as soon as this will be clicking on the public, that means that this will be available to anyone. So this will be available to globally. So this is how we can control the visibility of the website after the hour. Once we have the verified, okay, our website is ready for the publishing. And the another thing that I want to showcase here just quickly, that you see that user management is also there. So we have different options. For example, right now I just want to use that Azure AD. So I can click on that. Then based on that, it will be Earlier I was using, as a anonymous user, but now I will be as a authenticated user. So now you can see that my username is there. Okay. So this is what I wanted to showcase today about the Power Pages. So if you have any question or anything that's coming into your mind, or if you want to discuss anything, please feel free to unmute yourself and we can discuss. Okay, no question. So it means everyone got everything. I think we can stop the recording. Stephen, are you there?
सर
Yes, Chandni, बताओ. कोई क्वेश्चन?
यस सर, वो फर्स्ट पेज आपने कहाँ स्टार्ट किया था, वहां पर तो मेरा वो वीडियो रुक गया था। मतलब अबाउट अस के बाद से पता नहीं वीडियो फिर आपने कैसे निकाला फर्स्ट पेज पावर ऐप का, पावर पेज का?
सो चांदनी, हमारे पास ये है जो हम ट्रायल के लिए यूज करते हैं. वी कैन यूज दिस. So basically we are recording this video, so this video will be available. So I will share that link and you can watch that.
ओके
Okay.
सर, ओके
Yeah.
सर, थैंक यू।
Okay, so I think Stephen is not there and you don't have any questions. So thank you very much for joining me today. We will be publishing this video and I will share that link with you for that, later referral. Thank you very much.